Canada is known for its harsh winters, wet climates, and bug-filled humid summers. But in a few very specific regions, everything is just right for vineyards to produce world-class wines. Every year, Canadians make over 45 million litres of wine, most of it coming from just a few select regions of Central and Atlantic Canada and British Columbia, with the Niagara, Essex, and Okanagan regions being the largest and most well-known producers in the country. The ability to grow high-quality grapes comes from the terroir of the area. This is an all-encompassing term for the environmental factors that go into growing a particular type of grape, which includes things such as geology, soil, and climate of the area. Climate is the first thing you look for in a good region. In Canada, our vineyards are in places with hot and dry summers and cold but relatively dry winters. The Okanagan region has a relatively mild climate with hot summers. It is in the rain shadow of the Cascade Mountains and sandwiched between the coastal rainforest and the inland Columbia rainforest. Southern Ontario is in a microclimate, in the same latitude as southern France. The decision to plant a vineyard can be a tricky thing. Having a too cold winter or a humid summer can cause problems for the grapes. If you drive past a Canadian vineyard, you may see these giant fans scattered amongst the fields. These are turned on close to harvest to prevent cold air from settling in the valleys and freezing and splitting the grapes. Now, I want to talk about one special type of wine that Canada makes very well, and it is the one time that you want that extra cold winter. The longer the grape stays on the vine, the greater the sugar content of the grape and the sweeter it will become. Leaving the grapes on the vine too long is what makes late harvest wine. But because the winters are cold, and suddenly cold at that, grapes can be harvested after winter has set in to produce ice wine. It is a very particular process which can be done only in a narrow band of temperatures around -10 Celsius. And the grapes have to be kept in that range during harvest, transport, and pressing. By pressing freshly frozen grapes, most of the water is left behind as ice, producing the sweetest wine possible. Canada makes about 1 million litres of ice wine annually. Nearly all the grapes grown for winemaking are from the Vitis vinifera family, originating from Europe. This is a family of about 60 types of grape, including many of the names you may be familiar with, such as Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Gewürztraminer. Now, although the climate in many North American cities may be similar to Europe, the soil can contain many harmful pathogens and pests that can kill an otherwise healthy vine. Now, there are grapes that are native to North America, and while they may not be the best grapes at producing wine, their root structures are resilient to the North American pests. A large portion of the vines that you can see are European vines grafted onto the rootstocks of North American vines. The result is a resilient vine which produces high-quality wine. The Canadian wine industry has taken off in the past 20 or 30 years. In BC alone, there are over 250 wineries, with Pinot Gris, Chardonnay, and Gewürztraminer topping the whites, and Merlot, Pinot Noir, and Cabernet Sauvignon taking top place for the reds. It is a fascinating industry located in some of the most beautiful places in the country. From Penticton, BC, this is Tom from All About A.